Now, you just heard all the parties are talking about immigration at the moment, so why is support for the party with the toughest policy on mass immigration, that's the BNP, well, it's slumped at a time when other smaller parties are doing well. They're still going on, though. In fact, it's their conference this weekend. Adam's been to find out more.
Let's start packing them away.
Season's greetings from the British National Party. Cathy Duffy's a BNP councillor in Leicestershire, one of the few left.
I think a lot of people probably don't see me as BNP. I'm just Cathy Duffy. I'm their borough councillor. They don't see the politics. They just want stuff done.
When she's not packing her Christmas cards or sorting out issues with parking and street signs, she's worried about immigration and integration.
London's nearly gone, for instance. I went there several years, about 10 years ago, and I couldn't believe seeing all these Arabs sitting out drinking coffees, and I was like, oh my God, they were everywhere. I went to Blackpool. I used to go every weekend with boyfriends in my early days. And the last time I went to one of our conferences, there were all these burqa-clad people sitting outside, cafes eating pies and things. And I went into a fish and chip shop and it was halal fish and chips. What the hell is halal fish and chips?
That tough rhetoric helped the BNP win 2 MEPs in the European elections in 2009. A few years earlier, it secured more than 30 council seats in local elections in England. They were the official opposition in the London borough of Barking and Dagenham. But virtually none have been re-elected.
One of the remarkable things about the BNP was that the last 10 years really gave the party everything it could ever dream of: an economic recession, public concern over immigration, terrorist attacks, an ongoing debate about the white working class feeling underrepresented in politics. I mean, if you ever wanted a unique opportunity as a far-right party, then surely this was it. And the BNP really failed to capitalise upon that environment.
An environment that doesn't feature this man anymore. This year, Nick Griffin has stood aside as leader, declared himself bankrupt and been expelled from the party. He was replaced by an activist called Adam Walker, a former teacher who was banned from the profession after he received a 6-month suspended sentence for threatening 3 children at a St George's Day event.
I didn't join the party to be engaged in trouble with people of my own type. I got involved with the party to cause trouble for the establishment.
And it's the establishment the BNP blames for its troubles, whether it's the larger parties who've seized on the issue of immigration or the mainstream media who they accuse of being biased against them.
Well, we invited the BNP's new leader onto the show today, but he wasn't available. But the BNP spokesman Simon Darby joins me now from Birmingham. Simon Darby, you got wiped out in the European elections. You now have only 2 local council seats in the whole of the country. You're finished, aren't you?
Not quite. I think that's rather a strange thing to say when we're all talking about immigration. I think what's actually happened is the BNP told the truth, as it was. If people had listened to us, we wouldn't be talking about this mess that we've got with immigration now and the very, very serious implications. Effectively, you haven't shot the messenger. The establishment has collectively nailed us to the cross. However, what we've got now is a drift away from a left-wing protest vote. In co-opting the BNP's message and giving it to somebody else, we've actually got a protest vote in this country that is nationalist, and that's very encouraging.
But it's not benefiting you. I mean, Stoke and Central, which your former leader Nick Griffin described as BNP's jewel in the crown, you managed to come 4th in the ward that you stood for there. If you can't win there, you can't win anywhere.
Well, as you may have noticed, our message has been pretty well co-opted by the mainstream. They couldn't take us on, they couldn't debate with us properly. They had to kind of vilify us collectively. No party has had such an industrial level of vilification as we've had.
So you're redundant now?
Not at all. Not at all. We do other things other than contest elections. Our time will come again. We've just seen that the Prime Minister has lied to us about immigration. Again, lied to us. That man should stand down. He's either incompetent or a liar. One of the two. It's a very serious business. And we've got UKIP now coming along and effectively taking our message, which is to be expected, consider the amount of exposure that they've had, exposure that was never given to us. But in the longer term, politics is changing in our direction.
Well, you say that, but you're not going anywhere electorally. You now have a new leader called Adam Walker. I wonder if he's going to give you much of a future. I mean, he just narrowly avoided prison after an angry altercation with 3 boys aged under 12. Is that the kind of man you want leading your party?
I'm very surprised that you turned to criminality, a minor road traffic offence, a road rage offence.
Well, you got a 6-month suspended prison sentence.
When, Andrew, there are so many people suing the BBC now for serious sexual crimes against children. I'm surprised you wanted to use that against us.
What bit was wrong?
What bit was wrong about what? Sorry?
About the altercation with 3 boys aged under 12 that got him a suspended sentence.
All Adam did was he lost his rag with a few louts. That's all he did, and he's paid the price for that. Far less serious than the kind of crimes that are being committed by some BBC staff. Let me say that now.
Well, do you agree with him that the white British, and I quote him, are being ethnically cleansed out of their homeland? It's an act of, quote, genocide, and that Britain is, in his words, a multicultural shit hole. Is that the kind of person who should be leading your party?
Yes, because that's true. What he said is true. I mean, he may not have said that in glamorous. Of course it is.
The white people in this country are being subject to genocide.
It is industrial replacement level migration going across all white
genocide,
European...
which is a legal term.
Well, it is illegal. It is illegal. If it had been happening to anybody else, Australian Aborigines or whatever, you'd be up in arms. But because it's white people, you seem to think it's okay. It's good that we're actually replaced. We should celebrate. That's what you're saying.
When you take positions like that, is it any surprise that nobody's voting for you?
Many people will agree with what we're saying. They see UKIP now as an effective vote to get us out of the EU. In a way that they may be right. If everybody on the Conservative side or the people who believe in the nation state actually accept that we've got a real chance now of getting out of the EU, then I think we can actually do that. I can see that.
OK. Simon Darby, we have to stop it there. Thank you for joining us. We've got 20 seconds. I mean, he has a point in one sense that all the parties have toughened their line, not to the extent of the BNP, but they've all toughened their line in immigration. There's almost a consensus to be tough on immigrants now.
They have, except Cameron, very interesting this morning, Cameron told us he's going to win the next general election. Do you know how we know that? Because he's actually lowered his bar quite considerably. He's dumbed down what he wants to ask for.
OK, we shall see. Tom, thank you for being with us.